Hello, fellow rock tumblers. Can you believe it? These are finally done with the coarse grit grinding. It's been several months. I know you've been waiting, and so have I. Thankfully, they are ready to go. I've got them as smooth as I'm going to get them. Some of them are not perfect. A couple of them are. And hopefully, we'll get some nice shines. As you recall, the whole purpose in this little video series is to determine whether or not price matters with these agates. These range in price from $3 a pound up to $150 a pound. What does that mean to the final product? Well, in 8 days, we'll know. I'm going to get these loaded into the vibratory tumbler, get them started on my 8-day 4-step polishing process, and then we will take a closer look and see, does price matter with these agates? Well, they're finished, finally. No more polishing, they are done. Now, does price really matter with these? Let's take a closer look and find out. Okay, let's get started. First up is this India Agate. This is cheap. This is $3 per pound from my local rock shop. How well do you think this one tumbled and polished? Here is this beautiful India Agate, all polished up. I like the way this one turned out. As you can see, I decided not to completely tumble it smooth. I didn't want to lose any more of this detail. This took a great shine, and I think it has a beautiful pattern. So again, this is the India Agate. Clearly worth the price. Moving on, now we have what's called a wave agate. Wave agate. This was $4.50 per pound from Nature's Treasures in Austin. How did it tumble and polish? I have to confess, this one didn't turn out to be anything special once it got tumbled and polished. Very disappointing. The wave agate. You can see there's a little bit of shiny chalcedony in this, but otherwise it's just uninteresting. So let's call this one a dud and not worth the price. Now we have this chunk of green moss agate. This sells for $7 per pound. This one's not so mossy, but it is nice and dark green. How did it do? Now this actually tumbled up nicely. It's not very green. It's so dark it almost looks black. But I think it took a nice polish. One little flaw that I left in, I was just getting tired of tumbling these things. I didn't get rid of all that whatever brownish stuff is. But boy, look at that shine. So I think this one's worth the price. This is our piece of the Texas Canadian River plume agate, and this sells for $8 per pound. It tumbled for many weeks. How do you think this one turned out? Let's see. What do you think? The Texas Canadian River plume agate takes a nice shine. Couldn't get rid of all the fractures, but hey, it's okay. We can live with that. It has some nice detail in there. What do you think? Look at that pluminess. I like it. It was pretty cheap, so I'm going to say this one was worth the price. Continuing on, we have this xiamara agate. This sells for $8.50 per pound. This one had a really cool waxy feel to it, so how do you think it turned out? Let's see. Look how nice this one turned out. What a beauty. It reminds me a lot of Montana agate. But look at this fine banding in here. Let me see if I can capture that. It's almost like shadow banding. That shine's getting in my way. You can sort of see it happen there. That's a really cool effect. This is a beauty. Easily worth the price. This is our Chopstick Agate at $12 per pound. I had high hopes for this one when I started. What do you think? How do you think this one turned out once it got tumbled and polished? Here it is, a little Chopstick Agate. Boy, this really turned out nice. I'm very happy with this one. All those little tiny bubbles in there. Look at that. And this beautiful banded face right here. Well worth the wait. I didn't make it completely smooth, as you can see. However, I'm very happy with this one. I think this is a winner and again, easily worth the price. This is our Moroccan Agate at $12 per pound. This one showed lots of promise during the tumbling. What do you think? Do you think it turned out good? Let's see. Look how nice this one turned out. I love the design in this. I thought this was going to be special as I was tumbling it. More and more of this pattern was coming through. Not a perfect tumble. I'm still happy with it. Look at the banding on the top there. Isn't that wild? Look at that. Very nice. Moroccan Agate. Worth the price for sure. This is the Namibia Agate at $12 per pound. Another one that showed lots of promise during the tumbling process. And how did this one turn out? Check it out. Wow, what do you think? Look at this one. Turned out pretty nice. More of those little bubbles I like so much. And look at that beautiful, colorful banding right there. I like that. I like this a lot. Clearly worth the price. What do you think? I hope you agree. What a beautiful little agate. This is the Moroccan Sea Maggot at $16 per pound. We've been on a roll, but I think things are about to change. Check out how this one turned out. Ah, the Moroccan Sea Maggot. It took an okay polish, but what a disaster when it comes to the tumble. This is a rock that shouldn't be tumbled. This is one that should get cut and turned into a cabochon. I've got other samples of this I picked up, and that's exactly what I'll do with them. But as you can see, for a tumbler, it's not very good. It just didn't take a good shape, and it's, yeah, what can you say? It's a dud. Not worth the price. It's time for another Chub Agate. These sell for $18 a pound. I've not had much luck with these agates. So far, they've been a disaster. Let's see, maybe this will be better. Check it out. It looks like this Chub Agate is a bit of a winner. It's nice and shiny. It does have these little flaws throughout, but I wasn't going to continue tumbling this. At least it has a lot of chalcedony. Look at that little pattern in there. If you've watched my other videos, you've seen that my Chub Agates are usually a disaster. So based on that, this one's a real winner. So I'm going to go ahead and say this particular Chub Agate was worth the money. The others that I've played with so far, not so much. But this one, I think so. Next, we have this Koyamitos Pseudomorph Agate at $25 per pound. They're starting to get a little pricey now. Is this going to be worth it? Let's see. This Koyamitos Pseudomorph has been through quite an adventure. If you've watched this whole video series, you know this started off as one much larger piece, which broke during the tumbling early on, and I had to tumble it down quite a bit to get it nice and smooth the way I like it. Now, each one I think is really nice, really pretty. I love it. Look at that design in there. Isn't that awesome? Took a great shine. I just don't know that it's worth the price. I'm on the fence with this one. You at home, you decide for yourselves. Was it worth the money? Still a beautiful little rock. It's time for another island agate. These are $30 per pound from Nature's Treasures. I've played with several of these, and so far they've turned out pretty nice. How do you think this one tumbled? Let's see. So the island agate took a great polish. Look at that. I like it. It's got some wonderful detail in it. What do you think? I think it's worth the price. Now, if you ever go to Nature's Treasures, you'll see they have a bunch of these, some of which will have a much more colorful design, more banding. Still, all things considered, I think this is a winner. Beautifully tumbled, very shiny, so I'm gonna say that definitely worth the price. Okay, now let's check out this dry head agate from Montana. This sells for $30 per pound. What do you think? How did it tumble and polish? Let's see. Oh, what can you say about this? It looks like it took a pretty good shine. It broke on me during the tumbling. Or actually, I think I consciously broke this piece off. So as you can see, it's got a nice shine throughout the whole stone. I do like this banded area within here. There was some soft sections that, as you can see, undercut. Still, I think it's a nice stone. Worth the price? I'm not sure. This one I'm still on the fence. What do you guys think? Don't know. I've got a few other pieces of this. What I may do is try to turn one into a cabochon. See how that turns out. Up next is this little Malawi agate at $35 per pound. This one was kind of an interesting tumble. Let's see how it turned out. Our little Malawi, look at the shine it took. Nice, nice shine. If you remember early on in the series, I was worried that continued grinding was going to turn this thing into a quartz crystal with all this chalcedony section gone. Thankfully, there's still some on it. So I think this one's worth the price. I like these, and I have several of these I'm going to be tumbling. And there's such a variety, so you never know what you're going to find until you get it rolling. So I'm going to say winner for sure on this one. This is obviously the Crowley Ridge Agate. These sell for $50 per pound. Now we're getting a little expensive. So, will it be worth it? How do you think this one tumbled and polished? That big Crowley Ridge, not so big anymore. Took a good shine. Some fractures I couldn't grind out, but it's very smooth. Very smooth to the touch. Got some nice chalcedony in there, some good banding. Worth the price? I don't know. It's a little pricey for this. I'm going to say no on this as far as tumbling this one. That's not to say that if I take one and turn it into a cabochon, it won't be worth it. But this particular Crowley Ridge stone, tumbled like this, not worth the price in my opinion. What do you think? Next up is this Condor high-grade agate. I call it high-grade because these sell for $50 per pound. Again, we're getting pretty expensive here. The question is, how did it tumble and polish? Check out how beautifully this thing polished. I love this stone. I knew this was going to be special once I started tumbling it. I had to leave in a couple of small spots because it was getting too small. And I noticed as I continued to grind it down, I was losing some of the beautiful pattern that I was excited about in the first place. So I had to pull the trigger and say, time to stop. But look at that, isn't that pretty? What a great shine too. I'm gonna say worth the price on this one. Okay, we're almost to the end. This is the Aqua Nueve agate. This sells for $80 a pound. Is there any chance this could be worth it when it's tumbled and polished? Let's see. Another stone that took a great shine. Look at this. It's interesting. Got some nice banding in there. It's a nice light shade of purple. I like this one. Now, is it worth the price? I don't know. It's kind of pricey. It's a pretty good stone though. Once again, I'm on the fence. I don't know. I'm gonna say worth the price. What do you think? Okay, rock lovers, this is it. This is our final stone, the Black River Agate from Argentina. This little beauty sells for $150 per pound. Is there any chance it could be worth that price? How do you think it turned out once it got tumbled and polished? I'm almost afraid to show you this one. This is the very expensive one. How could it possibly be worth that much money? I'll show you how. Check this out. This, I think, to date, is the finest tumbled stone I've done. It's just, the polish is just stunning on this thing. It took a great shine. Look at the detail. Amazing stone. The Black River Agate from Argentina. Oh my goodness. I know it was very expensive, but I'm gonna have to say this was worth the price. This may be my all-time favorite tumbled stone. And I've tumbled a bunch of stones. I do have one more of these I'm gonna play with. I could only afford to buy 2 small stones. They're so expensive. The other one I may try something else. Maybe turn it into a cabochon. But boy, this just is a stunning rock. This iPhone can't do this justice, I'm sorry. And the lighting I'm using, I wish you could see it in person. It's really impressive. So, yeah, it was worth the wait. Several months of tumbling to get to this. I would do it all over again. That's the Black River Agate from Argentina. Wow. So there you go. Thank you so much for sticking with me on this video series. I know it was several months long, but I think the results were worth it. Got to learn a little something along the way. Be sure and check my other videos for more like this. Thanks so much.